and also with Christina.
Hello, hello.
Yo, this is awesome. I think Rachel froze a little bit, but we are here. Oh, you're doing okay, Rachel. We are here in the last night of Victory Squad before the election tomorrow with this incredible crew with music on board at 9:15, talking about like our last resources of power to win this election and keep each other safe. And yeah, I feel so glad to be here with the two of you and everyone who's watching. We're going to talk about what you can do to stay close to your heart, to stay connected to your people, and to help win this election. That's tomorrow. Um, I wanted to Rachel, Christina, how are you guys feeling about this? What's in your heart right now?
Rachel, please be my guest. I'm still getting grounded.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. My computer is dying as I'm charging it, and I think my computer's just a little bit mad at me, so my camera will be off. But I'm feeling okay. I think um yeah, I think I felt like a lot of like nervousness and a lot of stress, but the fact that it's just like happening tomorrow and all the work that we've like put in is just gonna happen tomorrow. Um, yeah, I think I'm just ready for it, man. How about you?
Yeah, I feel that. I also appreciate like hearing that. I think I've kind of been in like manic nervous mode to be completely honest, but now it's just like our work is just needs to manifest itself, you know.
Mhm.
Yo, I heard from someone wise said that he's in a state of serenity because he did all he could and now he's just waiting to see what happens. I wonder, Christina or Rachel, speak about the work that you and your people have been doing in the last couple of months to win elections, national level, to win elections where you are. Christina, maybe you go first if you've got the words.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's exactly it. There is a sense of serenity because for like the past 2 months in Wisconsin, we've been throwing it down, holding turnout parties every Thursday night. And then past week, it's been happening almost every night. We've been doing relational organizing. We've been hitting up everyone we know, like everybody. Way back from the past till people that we love and care for, just getting them plugged into the movement, ready to vote and ready to take to the streets with us.
Yo, wow. You guys have been doing so much. Rachel, I wonder if you can speak to some of what you've been doing, the wins, the hard parts, whatever else.
Totally. I feel like Rhode Island has been kind of like in this like weird spot because like we are coming off of a summer where we like just put the pedal to the metal with so many like young people across the state putting in so much work to get these. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, cool. There I am. Sweet. Hello. Okay, hi. So that's me. Okay. Yeah, and then like we won 13 of our primaries, which was just kind of crazy because there's so many times throughout the summer where we were just like, oh, this is not gonna work. I'm so uncertain of what's gonna happen, and I'm scared, and like, why are we even doing this anyway? But um, but we made it. We ended up like pushing and pushing and pushing, and then it worked. And now like um coming out of the summer, we were doing like some like movement building, building those relationships where people feel like comfortable and valued in the movement so that like tomorrow we can go out still and like for the past few weeks like phone banking and like still like supporting our candidates that have elections coming up tomorrow. So yeah, I feel like we're on kind of like this roller coaster of like really good things and then like also hard things as well.
Yo, and I feel like where we are right there on the top before zooming down and like thinking about all those hills we've climbed and all those wins we've gotten, like now we just have to think about what's going to hold us through and keep us strong this next 24 hours and the day after that and the day after that. And so one reason I brought the two of you here, something special you both bring is this care and value for relationships. And we're going to speak in a few minutes about how relationships are like one clear way we win power to make a Green New Deal happen, but also maybe speak now. What have like your relationships been like to keep you healthy and keep you happy in this past couple days and like in the next 24 hours? What does that mean? Either of you.
Yeah, I would say relationships are everything. Like they are the medicine. They are the things that have been keeping me motivated, keeping me so grateful even today. Um, People are surprising. There's people who are jumping at the opportunity. They're just waiting for you to approach them with this opportunity to engage. And like that's beautiful and surprising. And then there's the relationships that you know so well that are just always there, like motivating you and backing you. And I think like time and time again, I'm just like so grateful to be part of the Sunrise community because it gives me the structure to like engage in relationships, and it gives me like that fallback into like I always have a support system.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And also so true. I think like one of the things that like brought me into Sunrise was that like this like welcoming, like good supportive feel. And yeah, I'm thinking that like in this like society that we live in today, it's like our fear and our apathy feeds off of our like isolation and loneliness. You know, when we feel alone, it's hard to like get up and do things. And I'm also just thinking about like how like hard everything is, and how like I think in our structure here in Rhode Island, we really kind of focus on just like having moments where we can like just chill and get to know each other, and also like lean into community building rather than just like work all the time. And I think it's those like relationships um, that allow us to like take hard hits, like our candidates that we worked so hard for losing, but like being able to like see that and like heal together just so that we can like continue to keep going and win again, you know?
Yeah. Also, like, just to add on to that, you just reminded me of like when um we're doing all this work, you can get so caught up in like all the corruption and the frustration, but it's the what we're trying to build is this beautiful future, right? Like we're trying to build a future of relationships that we all like we got each other, like we got us, like that's the whole thing we're trying to build. And so it's like when we have that in this time, like that's just a reminder, like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm working for, like this is what we got.
I love that. Go, Rachel. You got some to add?
Well, I was just gonna say, like in my Green New Deal future, like there's like banana bread coming out of my windows, the smell of banana bread coming out of my windows, and my neighbors just being able to come on over and say, "Hey, you making something?" And I say, "Yeah, you want some?" So yeah, I'm totally into that. That's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yay. Wow. I wonder like in the next day, how are you guys gonna use, and we got Kathy Richardson in the Zoom. She's gonna play some music for us in 10 minutes. But before that, gonna keep this conversation flowing. Hello, Kathy. So glad you're here. How in the next day, 24 hours, are you guys gonna lean on your relationships to like to hold yourself and hold each other? Not even thinking about how to use them to win, but we're gonna get to that. How are you going to lean on relationships and recommend other folks do that too in the next couple of hours?
Um, yeah. I think like I think like the next 24 hours are just going to be like kind of a whirlwind of emotions. And I feel like there's going to be like tiredness, and there's going to be like happiness and joy, and there's going to be like, that hurts as well. And I think that like when we have those types of days and like those types of like whirlwind of emotion kind of feelings, like it's kind of like a wound that we have on our arm. And instead of like going through like just like seeing the wound and like trying to take care of it yourself, you like bring in your community and say, hey, this hurts me, can you help me out? And then they wrap it up for you, and it's and like they make you heal a little bit faster. And then like also you can say like, oh, this person person is definitely voting for Joe Biden and also this really awesome candidate. And they're like, yes, that's so awesome. And it just like amplifies this like joy and good feeling as well. So
Wow.
yeah.
Christina, what's that make you think?
Yeah, no, I totally hear you, Rachel. It does feel like our relationships right now in this time are those like healers. They are those wound healers. They're like the things that are so like constant. Like when everything doesn't really feel constant right now, like everything is just, like uncertain and so many possibilities. Like my relationships are my constant. Like those are the things where I'm like, but I know I can count on you, and like we got each other's back. And like when I'm starting to slip, you're like, hey, like focus, let's do this. And like when they're starting to slip, I'm like, hey, let's get back to it, we got this.
Yo, for everybody watching, think about who you're gonna call, and not the Ghostbusters, because we are the Ghostbusters, but your parents, if they're not with you, or those friends who you have talked to a couple months ago, or the people you work with. Think about who you're gonna call, who you're tight with, used to be tight with, who you can hold on to, and who can hold on to you. But we're gonna switch gears a little bit, because our movement is about holding each other when shit hits the fan and the world gets hard. It's also about winning governing power so we can address these crises with the full strength of the government and each other. And so, a question for you guys: how are relationships going to help us win? How have you seen them help us win before? Christina, I know you're doing a lot of work with it. Rachel, you guys saw incredible wins. How are our relationships going to help us crush Trump and elect Green New Deal champions?
Yeah, I mean, that's how we grow the movement, is through people we know. Like I got in there through a friend, and like now we're going to be like hand in hand calling everyone we know. So it's like, it's kind of like the backbone of this whole movement is like, if you know a person, like you plug them in, because like this is like, a moment of like fear kind of, and we're trying to plug you in because like I love you and I care about you, and like I want to see you do well, and I want to see your future like secure. So I'm going to plug you in because like I love you. Like that's like what it gets down to, is like this is like a loving, caring act. Like that's all I can say.
Rachel.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that. I'm just like letting that love seep inside me. Um, and I'm thinking about my friend Peter, who really cares about relationships. Just like even outside of like this movement stuff, like really like thrives on that kind of connection. And this summer when he was working full time, he like called up a bunch of his friends, and all of his friends were like phone banking like once a week, just because he asked them. And if he didn't ask them, then they wouldn't have done it. And then those same people were out there on our primary day, and those same people are going to be out there tomorrow because Peter invited them. And if I texted them not knowing who they were, then they'd be like, yeah, I guess so. Or maybe they just like ignore my text. But since I asked them, they're like, yeah, hell yeah. And I'm thinking about like how many times like we have like been a little bit sad, a little bit lonely, and said like, oh, I'm not gonna go because I don't want to do it alone. But then also like how many times have we said like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go because like my friend asked me to, and I'm gonna go because I know my friend's gonna be there. So I just think like relationships like have so much power to bring people in and like keep them there and like wake up their hearts because maybe they didn't know before. Yeah.
Oh, Christina, speak to this and tell us why this is how we're going to win Wisconsin.
Yeah, I was also just laughing, Rachel, because it's definitely like friends keep you there, but it's also that like I'm gonna guilt you because you're my friend. Like you owe me, like this is a promise. Like um but yeah, to like speak to how this is gonna like roll out is yeah, time's ticking away, and like if we want the like future we want, then we need to like glom on to the ones that we know. We need to like glom on and like bring them in, and then like push them out to then like their other relationships, because like I'm friends with someone, but they, they got 12 different interests, 12 different hobbies. They're working a job, like they're doing all these things that I don't even know what's going on with them, like 22 hours of the day. So like, they're just gonna like put their rays out into the universe and get their relationships. And then at that point, it's just like tumbling, like we're just snowballing. And like once you snowball, like there's no stopping it.
There is no stopping it. If we're taking anything away, let that be the message that there's a snowball coming for Wisconsin, and it's the Sunrise Snowball. Okay, that got you, Christina. Nice. Just to say, if you listening on this call, text your 5 people and ask them to text their 5 people or call them up. Don't just text them, call them up and have a convo with them. That's how we get people to Victory Fest tomorrow. That's how we get people vote tripling at the polls tomorrow. That's how we get people doing more than voting, participating with us to protest, to stop a coup or win a Green New Deal. And so call up your people, call up your relationships. That's how we're going to get through this thing, both by winning the elections and by holding us together. Christine and Rachel, any last words for people listening before we hear from the amazing Kathy Richardson?
I guess just like how beautiful it is to just be able to like bring people in to this like wonderful thing of like kind of like saving the world and building this brighter, greener future. And also be able to like reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while and say, hey, how's it going? How you feeling? And what are your values? Do you want to act on them? And like empowering like those people that like have a piece of your heart. I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I echo that. Like, that is one of the best questions I think people can ever ask anyone they know, is being like, hey, like, how are you doing? And what do you care about? And then once you like harness those 2 questions, you're off.
No. Okay, so listeners, we've all got our work cut out for ourselves to ask those questions. How you doing? What do you care about? And then to pause and listen for the answer and share some of our own. So this is kind of beautiful work we've got ahead of us. I want to thank Rachel and Christina, you champions, and thank everyone else who's been throwing down with love and care for the past days and months. And now want to say that let's just hold tight for the next day and days to come. And with that, introduce Kathy Richardson for some nourishing tunes to help us move into the world to come. Hey, oh, Kathy, there you
Hey,
are.
how's it going?
Real good. Glad we
I'm
have
enjoying listening to your conversation. You guys are so great. I mean, you are exactly what we need right now. You're bringing a tear to my eye. The young people, we need you. We need you active and involved, man. This is your world. This is your world. God.
Yo.
All right, so I'm going to do a song that I wrote with this lady over my shoulder, Grace Slick, the queen of rock and roll, who has passed the torch to me. And this song we wrote with our guitar player, Jude Gold, in Jefferson Starship. When we were watching the inauguration in 2016 or 2017 and the women's marches that were also happening at the time, and I'm just generally pissed off that we thought that we were going to have a woman president finally, a brilliant woman who was going to be good, and she would have done so much better for us than what we have right now. We deserved so much better. So we wrote, I said, let's write a song about this movement. It's about time for women to rule. And here's what we came up with. 1, 2, 3. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. It's about time to clean out the water, sisters, wives, mothers, and daughters. Can't you feel the planet getting hotter? How can you sit back and watch your own slaughter? Old white men have had their turn, thousands of years. What have we learned? The hurricanes churn, the wildfires burn. We're mourning our sons, they're forging more guns. It's about time, it's about about time, it's about time. It's about time, it's about time, it's about time. It's about Earth, it's about life, it's about saving the world. We've got to unite now. It's about time. It's about time to care for the living, time to stop blaming and stop forgiving. Who wrote the Bible, took out the goddess? What has it taught us? Where has it brought us? Children in cages, shot dead in school. How long before we let women rule? It's about time, listen to your mother, love one another, care for each other. It's about time, it's about time, it's about time. It's about time, it's about time, it's about time. It's about choice, it's about rights, it's about facing the darkness. Lift up your lights now. It's about time. It's about time to shift this paradigm. It's about time to shift this paradigm. It's about time to shift this paradigm. Oh, it's about time, it's about time, it's about time. It's about time, it's about time, it's about time. It's about choice, it's about rights, it's about facing the darkness. Lift up your lights now. It's about time. It's about time. It's about time. Yeah. It's about time. It's about time. It's about time. La, 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 la. It's about time. It's about time.
Hey! Oh, I love it. Kathy, it makes me feel like we're on the edge of something, and just it's about time. Ring through my ears.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Me too. I hope so. Stay
Yo.
positive.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, you want to play one more, or is that it? We should say bye. Either way.
Either way, you want to hear
Okay,
another one?
one more if you want. If you want to bring it,
All right.
and then we'll say bye to our people. But let's do one more, friends.
All right. Let's do this one. This,
And for everyone watching, remember tomorrow, don't just go to the polls. Bring your people and volunteer there to vote triple. Join Sunrise Movement Victory Fest to make those last few calls and get ready for what comes next, whether we're stopping Trump's tricks or whether we're demanding a Green New Deal in the streets. All right, Kathy, back to you.
awesome. All right. This song made famous by Grace Slick and the Jefferson Airplane. When the truth is found to be lies, and all the joy within you dies, don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Your eyes, I say, your eyes may look like his. Yeah, but in your head, baby, I'm afraid you don't know where it is. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Oh, tear the right, baby, like a running down your breast. And your friends, baby, they treat you like a gas. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Guitar solo.
Right on. Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, we all
Don't you
need someone to love.
somebody, yeah.
Yo, that was so good, Kathy. I was just saying, we need someone to love. We do. And we got to tell those people to join us tomorrow and hold on to them tight.
Absolutely. Amen. A women
Yo.
and Gloria frickin' hallelujah. You froze.
For me, you went out a little bit there, but I think we're gonna crush it. And I'm so glad you brought the rock and the roll. And for everyone out there listening, so pumped for you to get involved with Sunrise Movement Victory Fest tomorrow and to see what the polls to triple everyone else's votes and then in the streets afterwards to stop Trump's tricks or win that Green New Deal. Oh, so inspired.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Vote, volunteer,
Mm.
and what was the other one you said? Victory.
Protest. Victory. Oh, let's do
Victory.
that one.
Oh my God, it's the 3 V's.
Hey, great V's. Okay, everyone, we're gonna close up shop, but see you there.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Go
Kathy.
vote for victory.
Bye.